Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be building the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter from the Mandalorian Series, and so hope you guys will enjoy this build. This is our finished product, so stick around to find out how the build goes. And it's a pretty cool ship, and it took me some time to get it done, but it is a pretty cool build. Very tedious, some little small parts, small areas to work in. And so I hope you guys will stick around to watch this build. Again, this is the Mandalorian Starfighter, Mandalorian N1 Starfighter from Star Wars, The Mandalorian. This is Lego number 75442. It's got 1,809 pieces. And so stick around and to find out how this build went. And I'll bring you back to show you all the bags that we have. And we'll go from there. Okay, let's get started with this build. We have a total of 16 bags, and we have an extra bag here. And then, like I said, there is a total of 16 bags. And we also have a couple pieces, rods here, and then we have the plate that with the information on it, and then of course the book for the build. So let's get started. I'll get bag one opened up and we'll go from there. All right, here is bag one, and here are the pieces for the main bag. And then there was two little bags, and here are the pieces for the little bags. So let's get to building, and again, here's the book, and we'll get started on bag one. Once I complete bag one, I'll bring you back to show you our progress. All right, we completed bag one, and this is what we created. So, kind of the start of the Mandalorian ship. And as of right now, let's see if I can find the piece here. There it is. So right now, this moves. But I would imagine eventually we're going to put a pin through there, since there's holes right here and then there's holes down here. So that's probably going to get pinned. But it's pretty cool so far that it moves. But that is bag two. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention before we start bag one, there are some stickers. And they were in the bag with the book, and I didn't see them initially, but here are the stickers. So we have one sticker already placed right here. And so, but we'll get bag two opened up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, here is bag two, and here are the pieces for the main bag. And then there was a smaller bag, and here are the pieces in the littler bag. So I'll get bag two put together, and I'll bring it back to show you our progress. All right, we have completed bag two. Bag two consisted of this side here. And so it was built just like the other side, minus the centerpiece. But yeah, so we made this side over here, which I believe is the wings of the ship. Yeah, it's the beginning of the wings. So you have the cockpit is like here, and these are the wings, and then the motor units, whatever you want to call them, the jets, whatever, are on the other side. So that's where we're at right now. So let me get bag three opened up, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got bag three opened up. And here are the contents for the main bag. And then we had a little bag, and here are the contents for the little bag. So let me get bag three put together, and then I'll bring you back to show you our progress. All right, we have finished bag three. This is bag three. And what we created was this piece right here. And it's basically the backside shafter area that, like this was probably the cockpit here for the Mandalorian, and then where Grogu would sit, or if this was still a Naboo ship, where the robot would sit and the pilot. So, but we're looking pretty good. And so let me lift it up here to show you the backside. So we have all that built, and then we connected it via right here. So we had some pins that went in here, and then down in here where those pins were, those blue pins. And so that's all connected there. And so I'll get bag four, open it up, and we'll go from there. All right, here is bag four. And here are the pieces in bag 4. There was no small bag, so this is all the pieces for bag 4. And so let me get bag 4 built, and then I'll bring you back to show you our progress. Okay, we have completed bag 4, and bag 4 consisted of adding some pieces in here, up through here, and then over here, and then on the underside, we added some points here, some pins here, and added these little balls, and then this piece here, and then we added all of this, and then again over here this piece, and they added the pins in here with these balls. So the wings don't move as much now. Move a little bit, but not as much as they were. So that was bag 4. So let's get on to bag 5 and see where we get with bag 5. So I'll bring you back once I get bag 5 opened up. And again, if you're liking this content, be sure to like, subscribe, make a comment. And if you're really enjoying it and you think some friends of yours or other people might enjoy it, hit that share button and share it out to all your social media so other people can see this build also. Let's get bag 4 opened up, and then I'll come back and I'll bring you back to show you that. Alright, here is bag 5. And it was kind of a small bag, you can see, compared to some of the other ones. But these are all the parts that came in bag 5. And so we'll get these put on and build it, and we'll bring you back to show you our progress. Alright, we completed bag 5, and bag 5 consisted of covering up this top part here, sliding through here, and little pieces in here, and then we added a sticker here, and also a sticker here. And so that was bag 5. Let me get bag 6 opened up, and I'll bring you back to show you that. Alright, here is bag 6, and here are the components of bag 6. And there was a smaller bag, and here are the contents to the smaller bag. So let's get bag 6 put together, and then I'll bring you back to show you our progress. Alrighty, we have completed bag 6, and bag 6 basically consisted of creating from here all the way back. So we added these pieces here on top of what we had already created here. So we added this, and then we've added this here, and then we added this whole piece right here. And so we're getting along. This is the tail end, the back end of the Mandalorian ship. Or for those of you who've also watched Star Wars Episode 1, this used to be a Naboo ship. And so you guys are probably familiar with it there. But during the Mandalorian, he lost his original ship and had to get a new one. And so they created a Naboo ship and turned it into the Mandalorian ship. And so this is the tail end. So that's where we're at now. I'm going to get bag 7 opened up, and I'll bring you back to show you the contents. Alright, we've opened bag 7. And so here are the contents for bag 7. And there was a littler bag. And there's the contents for the little bag. But we will get bag 7 put together and bring you back to show you our progress. Alright, we have completed bag 7. And bag 7 consisted of building this piece right here. And so we got connected, and we got it all built. And it was kind of interesting to attach it, because as you can see, it attaches to that point, and then this point right here. But it doesn't lay flat. It's actually at an angle. So if you look at it from this side, you see it's kind of curved down. And so that was interesting to put on. I didn't think it was going to fit at first, but it is on. And so we've got that built, and I'll get bag 8 opened up, and I'll bring you back to show you the contents. Again, if you're liking this build, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber and you want to stay up to date with my builds. And be sure to comment if you have anything you'd like to say. And of course, share it out to all your friends and family on your different social media sites so that they can take a look at it if they are interested, or they are Star Wars fans and also fans of The Mandalorian and Little Grogu. So I hope you guys are enjoying so far. But I'll get bag 8 opened up, and I'll bring you back to show you the contents. All right, here is bag 8, and here are all the contents for bag 8. And then there was a smaller bag, and here are all the contents for the smaller bag. And so we'll get to building bag 8, and once I get it complete, I'll bring it back to show you our progress. All right, we have completed bag 8, and that included building this piece here, just like we did on the other side. So we've got that piece, and let me flip this over here so I can show you it the upper side. All right, so this is the piece that we built right here. And you know, one of the interesting things is here, this piece here is on a rod that just goes into a little hole. Let me get that inside. This piece here is just is on a rod, goes into a little hole here, and it's not really connected to anything. If it wasn't for this piece on top and this piece here, it would probably fall out. So just be aware of that. And but it's in there the way the directions say it to put it in. So, but this is what we got so far after 8 bags. So we are about half done. We've got 8 bags left. So hope you guys are enjoying this build. If you are, be sure to hit that like button. And also, if you're enjoying this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe so you can see more of my builds. I don't only do Lego. I will eventually be getting into some woodworking in here in probably in a few months, and then also building some model vehicles with that you buy in the store. You know, the plastic ones that you glue together and paint and put stickers on and stuff like that. So we'll be getting into some of that too in the future. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can not miss out on any of my videos. And then if you are enjoying this and you know somebody who else likes The Mandalorian and would like to see this build, be sure to hit that share button and share it on your social medias, and where you have your social media, and point them to this video. But let's get back to building. Let's get bag 9 opened up, and I'll bring you back once I have it opened up, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got bag 9 here, and these are all the parts in bag 9. And then we had a smaller bag, and here's all the components to the small bag. So let's get bag 9 built, and then I'll bring you back to show you our progress. Okay, we have completed bag 9, and bag 9 consisted of adding this piece here. So we built this. Underneath here, we had added some some catchers for some balls. And so they're under here, and then we put this piece on here along with this, and then we created this front piece, and then we popped, there has some balls on it that went into the ball, to the joints there, and so that went in, popped in there, and then we created this piece and this piece, and that was pretty much, and then we added this here, and so that was pretty much bag 9, and so we've got all that added. And one thing, when I had added some pieces here, it was telling me to move something up. And there's a couple, before I added this piece here, there was a black piece here and a black piece here. You got to move those up a little bit so that you can get these attached, and then it'll tell you to put them back down. So let's see if I can move this here. So they kind of move up. They don't go up as much as they did before because this piece is on, but that does move. So just to be aware of that. And yeah, it went together pretty well. And so we're going to move on to bag 10. And once I get it opened, I'll bring you back to show you the contents. All right. Here is bag 10. And here are the parts for bag 10. And we had 2 smaller bags in there. So here are the contents for the smaller bags. And so we're going to get to building bag 10. And it looks like we're going to get started on flipping it over. But we also have to add another piece, which is in here. So let me get that opened up so you can see that. So it looks like it is the cockpit window. So we'll be putting that on, and we can see the smaller one there for the bubble where the droid used to sit. Now it's Grogu's seat. So that's his bubble there. But we'll get bag 10 put together, and I'll bring you back to show you the progress. All right, we have completed bag 10. And bag 10 basically was this top part here. So we got the guns on. We covered up this front section. We did some cover up in here. And then we did cover up in here. We added the seat and the controls. And in there, let's see, get the lights out of the way here. Let's see if we can see that here. But we added a sticker in there, and of course there's a sticker here. But we made the cockpit with the back of the seat, and then we made the bubble area where Grogu sits, and then we added some pieces back in here. But yep, that was bag 10. And so hope you guys are enjoying it. We'll get bag 11 opened up, and we'll continue on from there. All right, here is bag 11, and we've got a little box here. I think this is the Mandalorian's cape, because we will be building a minifig of the Mandalorian. And then here is all the contents of the big bag. And then we had 2 smaller bags, and so here are the contents for the small bags. And it looks like we're going to be building the stand for this N1 Starfighter, the Mandalorian ship. So let's get to building, and I'll bring you back once I got it all put together and to show you the progress. Alright, we have finished bag 11, which basically made the stand. So you can see the stand here. And it also created the Mandalorian. And then here's the plaque that goes on it. And then of course the N1 Starfighter, or the Mandalorian ship, gets put on it on that shaft right there, and you can see how it goes in there. And so that is the stand. That was bag 11. So we'll get bag 12 opened up, and I'll bring you back to show you the contents. Alright, here is bag 12, and it's a small bag, so it shouldn't take us too long to put it together, but we will be making another minifig of Grogu, so that'll be good. And but this is bag 12, and I'll go ahead and put this together and bring you back to show you our progress. Alright, we have completed bag 12, and it basically made 2 things. The first one, it made little Grogu, or like some people like to call him Baby Yoda, but his name's actually Grogu. And then the other thing it made is this piece right here. And then it got slid into a little spot back in here where there was a little hole here with a little crisscross. So there was a rod that slides in there, and that's what bag 12 made. So we'll get bag 13 opened up, and I'll bring you back to show you the contents. Alright, so here is bag 13, and here are the parts, the pieces for bag 13. And of course there was a smaller bag, and here are the contents for the smaller bag, along with the piece that's still stuck in there. Get that out of there. There we go. Alright, so that's bag 13. I'll get it put together, and I'll bring you back to show you our progress. Alright, we have completed bag 13, and this is what we made. And it's the beginning of one of the engines that sits on the front of the N1 Starfighter. It'll either go here or it'll go there, depending on which one I'm making it right now. And but that was bag 13, so let's get bag 14 open up, and I'll show you the contents. Alright, here is bag 14, and here are the parts to the main part of the bag 14. And then there was also 2 smaller bags, and here are the parts for the smaller bag. So we'll get to building bag 14, and I'll bring you back and show you our progress. Alright, we have completed bag 14, and 14 finished off this engine here. And so it added this back section here, and then all of this, and then we actually attached it, and it attached, let me show you the other side. Rotate around, it's awfully long. It attached on the other side to these 2 holes right here. So that's where it goes. And then, so that was bag 14. If you're enjoying this build, be sure to hit the like button, and be sure to make a comment. If you enjoy watching Lego builds and want to see more, I do have more on my channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you'll be and the notification button, so you'll be notified the next time I put out a video. But we do have 2 more bags to go. So, and I think it's basically those 2 bags are going to be doing the other engine. And so stick around and I'll get bag 15 opened up and bring you back to show you the contents. All right, here is bag 15. And here are the parts for the main bag. And then we did have a smaller bag. And here are the pieces for the smaller bag. So we're going to get bag 15 put together and I'll bring you back to show you the progress. All right, we have completed bag 15 and this is what we made. We've got the beginnings of the other engine. And so, and that's bag 15. Let me open up bag 16 and I'll bring you back, show you the contents, and then we'll go from there. All right, bag 16. And this is our last bag. And here are the contents for bag 16. And it also included 2 smaller bags. And so here are the components for the smaller bags. And we'll basically be finishing up the other engine and finishing up the Mandalorian ship. So if you have enjoyed this build so far, be sure to hit that like button and comment if you have any comments. And be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed so you can be notified and when I put out my next video. And be sure to share it out to your social media sites so people that are your friends, family, whatever, can have the opportunity to watch this video also. But let's get to building bag 16 and I'll bring you back to show you our progress and completion. All right, we have finished bag 16. Bag 16, we created the, completed the engine over here. And so we've got that also attached to the couple holes that were down in here. And then we also covered up the excess spots there to get all that covered up. And bag 16 also concluded the build. So I hope you guys enjoyed this build. And just let me show you the whole N1 Starfighter or Mandalorian ship from the Mandalorian series. And let me get it spun around here so you can see the front here. And again, this is the front. A lot of people would think that the tail back here would be the front because that's how common spaceships are in movies. You know, the smaller end is the front and the bigger end is the back. But not on the N1 Starfighter. The front is actually the big side. And so we got your 2 engines on either side. We got a couple rail guns or some laser guns type here. And then we have the cockpit where the Mandalorian would sit. And then this would normally be a robot for a droid like R2-D2 or something like that would sit there, but it was converted for Grogu's seat. And so that would be where Grogu sits. And I would imagine the minifigs of Grogu and the Mandalorian could probably sit in there if you guys wanted them to, because those covers come off. And here's the plaque. And so if you guys, hope you guys enjoyed this build. It was a joy to put it together. And so if you guys, if you're interested, go ahead and pick this up from the Lego store, your Lego stores, or the Lego store online, and pick that up and build it for yourselves. So again, this is an N1 Starfighter. Mandalorian received this one, I think it was in season 2 of the series. Also, if you watch Boba Fett, the Boba Fett show on Disney, you'll see them actually putting this to getting it put together and for the Mandalorian to use. And but this is an N1 Starfighter, one of the Naboo fighter ships that you would see in Episode 1 of Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. Anakin Skywalker actually flew this as a child, and when they went in to destroy the control ship that was controlling the droids on the planet, on the Naboo planet, and when he destroyed that control ship, all those androids just stopped working. And the Gungans were able to complete and win their battle. But again, this is the Mandalorian ship. So if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can, and the notification button so you can be notified the next time I have a video come out. And I've got other Lego builds on my channel if you're interested to see them. I just built the Darksaber, so be sure to check that out. That was a pretty cool build. So I've got my own Darksaber now. But anyways, hope you guys have a great evening, a great night, great day, whatever time you're viewing this, and have a great week. And we'll see you in the next video.